Did you realize that raw milk and cheese cause 840 times more illness than pasteurized milk and cheese? I mean, this is like really scary if it was true. It was being advertised by a media company. I mean, why would a media company pay for an ad to scare people against raw milk? So today we're going to talk about, is raw milk and raw cheese really that much more dangerous than pasteurized milk or cheese? You know, they say that raw milk is the number one cause of pathogens in dairy. And I question that. Like, is it really the raw milk that's causing the problem? Or is it the contaminated milk? I mean, just because something is pasteurized does not automatically make it safe. And of course, they're going to talk about, oh, there's like high amounts of E. coli in raw milk. Well, first of all, E. coli is not only in raw milk, it's also in pasteurized milk. In fact, in your body right now, you have E. coli. E. coli is part of the friendly bacteria that we have in our gut. In fact, E. coli helps us digest. But there's a point where E. coli can become pathogenic in the right environment, but it's not necessarily just because something is raw. So it's my opinion that the problems that come along with raw milk really have to do with farms that are not clean. And this is why it's so important to really know where you're getting your milk. And this goes for cheese as well. I mean, if you take raw cheese versus pasteurized cheese, there's a big difference. First of all, the way they test to make sure that something is thoroughly pasteurized is they measure how much activity that this certain enzyme has. So if this enzyme is inactive, then it's pasteurized. And so when they pasteurize it and get rid of the enzyme, the question is, do you really get the benefits of building bone, making calcium and phosphorus very bioavailable? And then we get another enzyme that gets destroyed when you pasteurize the milk, and that is called lactase. Lactase is an enzyme to help break down milk sugar, lactose. But when I do raw milk, and especially raw milk cheese that has that enzyme in it, lactase, I don't have any digestive problems at all. So only the raw dairy has that enzyme to help break down milk sugar. There's been some research done to show that children that consume raw milk versus pasteurized milk have lower incidence of asthma, allergies, decreased incidence of ear infections and eczema, and even less respiratory infection. You're going to get a lot of support for the immune system. There are a lot of different immune factors that get destroyed with the pasteurization. Then you get the other benefit of raw milk and raw milk cheese with the probiotics. So what are probiotics? Those are friendly bacteria. When you consume things like cheese or kefir, you're getting not only a good probiotic, but a probiotic that can actually reseed your gut. I mean, I think people think about yogurt and kefir as a probiotic, but they don't think about raw cheese as a probiotic as well. However, in America, if a cheese is fermented over 60 days, it can be considered raw. So recently I was in Bethesda shopping at this boutique specialty store, and I was trying to find some European cheeses, and I found a bunch of them and some American cheeses that said that they're raw, so they were fermented over 60 days. And I went home and I was consuming these cheeses, and I found one that was really delicious. And it was actually from America, called Meadow Creek Dairy Cheese. I got the package after consuming all the cheese, and I said, I got to find out where to get more of this, right? I found out it's about 40 minutes away from my farm in Southern Virginia. And then after studying their website, I realized why it was so good. And apparently they bred, not only was it raw, but the farm is super clean, French cows with certain American cows, and they just spend the time to do it right. There are a lot of different options with cheeses, but this one's a good one. I'll put the link down below. I like the Mountaineer hard cheese from that company. Now, there's probably not a difference in nutrients between raw cheese and pasteurized cheese, but the bioavailability of calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, and other minerals are probably a lot better from raw cheese just because it's raw and it has more enzymes. And of course, I always want to get the raw cheese that's from grass-fed cows. And that way I'll have the right omega-6, omega-3 ratios. And also there's another great compound called CLA, which helps you lose weight. It's good for energy. It's anti-inflammatory. So in summary, do I think raw milk is safe? Absolutely, if it is purchased from a farm that is clean. So you need to Study up on the farm that you buy your raw milk from or raw milk cheese, and then make your own decisions.